What's up, guys? It's Saiyan here, coming at you with a relatively simple, just unboxing, well, not even unboxing really, just opening a few boosters here of the Firestorm tactical card game. This is another obscure one for those of you who have never heard it. What a grand surprise. There really isn't much out there about this game. Um, Obviously, if you want to see more of this stuff, then as always, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you like this kind of content. But besides that, we're just gonna jump right into this and crack open 10 boosters of Firestorm tactical card game. So this game has only seen one release, which is called the Prime release. You can see that there as well. Prime release. Um, this is the back of a booster. So if you want to have a read, hopefully it's good enough for you to stop the video and have a read through. So I actually did open two of these boosters last night before I was recording this, just to like get a feeling for how the cards are inserted, and they actually have done this a very cool way. So the reason why I'm opening this the other way around is because we're starting out. Oh, actually did it the wrong way. Damn. So here we go. Then this is our rare. We got 3 uncommons, and we have the commons over here. So we got Glitch, Energy Enhancer, Corporate Enforcer, Training, Sensor Problem, Reinforcements, and, sorry about that, Planetary Shields. Our uncommons: Lucky Break, Absalon Nebula, and Archaeology Hoax. And our rare is, as you might have caught a glimpse of, this is Research Center. This is a planet. This game is actually really deep. So if you guys like, I think the closest game that comes to this is kind of almost Star Wars TCG, but it's even grander than that, because both players, and you can play this like even 4 players if you want to, but all the players start up with their own sort of solar system, one home planet, and then they can add additional planets, and then between the solar system of your opponent and your own, you got the Firestorm, hint hint, and you can actually play cards like planets themselves that are in home worlds into the Firestorm, and you can go there and explore them, and one of the 2 win conditions is to gain 30 technology. And one of the ways how you can learn technology, and actually quite a lot of technology, is casting planets into the Firestorm. Go there with a ship that has Explore, and then you can explore the planets depending on the tech value that each planet has. You would put, if this research center was put into the Firestorm, it will come down with 4 Explore tokens, and they are worth 4 tech value. If you send here a ship that has an Explore value of 2, you can immediately take 2 of that and add that to your tech pool. So that's one of the ways to win. Besides that, this research center, once per turn you may play a card for -1 tech requirement. So that can be good as well. But the thing is, it normally is fairly easy to accumulate a bunch of tech, particularly if you build your sort of starting planets well. But I'm sure there are a couple of high tech value cards. This is the tech cost of a card, by the way. Not a cost, but you need to have that much tech at least. And most of them sort of cap around 4 or 5, so whilst this is good for giving you 4 tech, I'm not sure how good that particular effect there is, but still. Let's see what's in the next booster. So, okay, are we doing this the right way? Hopefully. Yep. Alright. So for commons, we have Sweet Talker, Secret Agenda, Rarkarneb Char. There you go, we got that. We have a pilot training facility, Mercenary Captain, Foz, and a hydroponic farm. Uncommons, we have a stolen technology, power leak, and master planning. And our rare is a reflect. It's a gear voicing. Voicing gears can only go on heroes that have the voicing sort of keyword on them, and then these cards basically work as like upgrades, so they stay on a card depending what's the voicing number on that hero. You can attach as many voicing cards onto them, and they all have a bunch of like good stuff. So this one is allowing you to play a ship, a planet, or hero as a react, which is pretty good. Okay, next booster. I mean, I picked up a couple of starters and these 12 boosters about a year ago or so. Kind of not even a year ago. It's probably more like year 16 months ago, 15 months ago. And because pandemic sort of kicked in, or was already kicking in, there was like really no way to play with anybody. So now that obviously gaming groups are forming again, I'm hoping that I will be able to get this bad boy onto the dining table. But anyway, we got our commons here again. We got Dr. Andreas Creed, Conscience, another tactical card, Archaeology Students, Rarkar Neb Char, again, our friends, another pilot training facility, another mercenary captain, and another hydroponic farm. Now this booster has looked eerily familiar, because I think that's pretty much what we've seen in the previous one, at least in terms of commons. Uncommon wise, we got Heal, another voicing, probably allows us to heal. Yeah, heal up to 2 damage. We have a Dark World. Now that's looking cool. Limited any. Move target retrofit card you control to another subject ship you control. That's pretty good. So the retrofits are like upgrades, and you can just move one from a ship to another within any timing. That's pretty good. And we have Wrath, another gear, voicing gear. There you go. And our rare is Quick Reload. Play the ship. So it's allowing you to deal double strike, basically, double combat damage. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, particularly for a card that has actually zero energy cost, and it doesn't cost you a command either. So cards that you play, this is the actual cost that you spend, the resource cost, and that little dot next to them means whether you have to pay or how many commands you have to pay to play that card. Most different species normally have about 3 commands per turn, so you want to be really sort of obviously careful with how you use up that. So seeing a card that costs you 0 resource and it costs you 0 commands, it's already good. It only needs 2 tech also in play, and that is what we call a cosmic value. some cards have a cosmic value. Cosmic value is like the destiny number in Star Wars CCG, but it doesn't come up nowhere near as often as in Star Wars CCG. So it's like not like it's not going to like define your combat and stuff like that. Okay, our next set of commons from the next booster, we have Sensor Problem again. We have Reinforcements. What is this? Planetary Shields, seen that as well before. Minefield. Indecision. Glancing Blow. Dropped Weapon. For the uncommons, we have our first fake card you can see here. For every 10 cards in your deck, you can have one fake card in your deck. So if your deck's 50 cards, 5 of them can be a fake card. Fake cards, you can have only one copy each in your deck, and unless you draw them in your opening hand. If you draw them in your opening hand, they have to be put in your recycling pile. But after that, if you play them, they have to go in your terminate pile, which is basically your remove from game pile, so to say. And recycle target support card, that's pretty good. That basically says that you take, you basically remove a support card from game. So this is like a targeted removal that you would do. Get rid of one of your opponent's support cards. Support cards are all the cards we've seen so far that have a sort of the lighter green background, like the Planetary Shields, for example. This is a support card, and they do a bunch of good stuff as well. So having, you know, just a straight up way to remove them is pretty cool. And you kind of play them as soon as you you sort of reveal them or draw them from your deck. So yeah, really good, interesting for deck building as well. We have Perdiceus Prime, which is a basically pretty much just getting you a bunch of resources, bunch of tech. It's quite expensive as well for that 9 cost, but getting you 4 tech of a planet is pretty good generally. So there's that, and then our third uncommon is Lucky Break. Kind of feel like we've seen this before. Plays a ship with inflict combat damage to heavy inflict +2 damage. So it's like not as good as Quick Reload, but it's still like putting extra damage out. So that is still cool. And our rare is Sudden Strike, which is another tactical card. Very cheap, no command, no tech required. So immediately probably going into a new arrow deck. I can do sort of like an analysis of the different species if you guys do want to see a bit more of a breakdown of the Firestorm game, because it's actually a really cool game. It's just like you need to be committed when you sit down to play it. But you know, yeah, you open up the rulebook. It's 92 pages. Actually, if you take the glossary out, if you take the little sort of novel out from the beginning, we're probably down to about 65, 70 pages. So it's not like unreadable. And as you compare that to Star Wars CCG, you know, Star Wars CCG is like just hundreds of pages of rules. But anyway, we got Fusion Welder. We have Dr. Krieg again. We have another Conscience. Archaeology Students. We have a Terraform Company, giving us +1 resource, +1 structure. We have a Secret Mine, just getting you +1 resource. That can also be good for the investment of 3 resources to then get +1 resource each turn. That's not bad. It's a good little ramp there. And Reinforced Armor. Now it obviously has the typical problem that many sort of mid to late 90s, early 2000s card games have, that you don't have a lot of commons, and each one of these boosters, as you could see, has 7 commons, 3 uncommons, 1 rare. So you really need to sort of fish for those rares, and even uncommons to an extent. So really, the best starting point is just to get the starter decks. You will need the starter decks anyway, because those have the alien cards on the back of them. Anyway, for uncommons, we got the Desert Waste World, another cool-looking planet. Just a really cheap planet, just to get, you know, another 3 tech. That's actually pretty cool. And it's also a desert planet that can be important for certain upgrades. So that's a pretty cool one. I like that. I like this a lot, actually. So we got Sorvina Tyridius. Probably we didn't see too many uncommon heroes, actually. And also, interestingly, she is a Dizori, but she can go into any color. That's interesting. That's actually really interesting. Dizori, most of the sort of heroes, they normally tend to go with their own. If you see this sign in particular, that means that it doesn't have like a color restriction, and that's pretty cool to have a Dizori like that. And we have our second fake card, Outbreak of Production. And what does this do? During your next turn, planets you control other than your home world produce +1 reach. That's pretty cool. Like, you can have easily 6 cards, 5 cards plus your home world as your start. So this card can just net you another 5 resources for the next turn. That's pretty cool. And then our rare is called War, and that's really I'm really glad to see this card, because this is humans. Blue are humans, and you get 2 of the ships in the starter deck, which I'm actually going to show you. You get it's really cool because you get Pestilence and Famine. So this is the big trio for the humans: War, Pestilence, and Famine. But obviously, War is a rare, as you can tell, whereas the other 2 are fixed. And yeah, I got all 3 of them, and that's really cool. Like, they all do pretty much the same. In fact, they very much do the same. But what's cool about them is you can have 3 very strong ships out that you can't have in other means, because obviously, well, actually, that's a good question. I'm not even sure if ships are sort of unique or not. I would assume these 3 ships are unique because they have a very specific name to them. Whereas if you got like a cruise ship, for example, well, that to me is like okay, just a generic, you know, ship. But these, I would say, they probably are. Yes, they are there. There you go, unique. So whenever a card says unique, it means you can only have 1 per name in the deck. And when it's well, not in the deck but in play, and then when it's destroyed, it actually goes into your out of play, not your recycle, because you don't deck out in this game. You reshuffle your recycle deck, and you build a new draw pile. But if obviously cards that are terminated and go to your terminated pile, they cannot come back into game. That's a pretty cool mechanic, actually. Sometimes, I mean, I love mill decks. I used to like always get some form of a mill deck together in Magic. Certainly until I stopped playing, they weren't like really that good, but I always had a feel for them. But you can't do this in this game, and that's good because that leaves it more to the strategy of how well you play rather than, well, are you lucky enough to deck out your opponent or not. Anyway, we got Conspiracy, back Ellie payoff. I think we haven't seen this yet. We did see the Secret Mine. Reinforced Armor, definitely seen this as well. We got a copy of Planetary Cannons. Now, I haven't even seen this card yet before. And it's not giving the planet any buff. But in the combat turn, Planet Cannons to have it inflict 3 piercing damage. And once are shooting either 3. That's pretty cool. That's really good, actually. That's really good. Yeah, then we got a Mercenary Scouts. As I said, this isn't unique, as you can tell. It's just a Mercenary Scout. You can have as many of them in. They're pretty weak, but it's that cheap to play. And you gotta pay a resource for it to join a team. It's mostly for exploration. If you have a look there, it's got Explore 1, moves for 2. It's not bad. It goes into any color, so it's okay. It's like your chi blocker that you can use to explore kind of stuff. And then you got I Die, which weirdly is a common, but we haven't seen yet. I haven't seen this yet. It's a reaction for free. You need 4 tech. Play as a hero, initiates a hero combat against a hero you control. That hero combat targets another hero you control instead. So basically it's a redirect combat thing. For uncommons we have Jason Traig. Really interesting looking weaponry on Jason. Looks cool though. I like it. We have another Desert Waste World. We've seen this one. And we have another Peridiceus Prime. I'm actually glad to see more planets, same copy, because then obviously you can put that into more decks. And we got War Effort as our rare. It's a rare fate that can only be good. Until the end of the next turn, players may play military cards for a -1 resource. Again, military cards, it says on the card, obviously, if it's a military card. There you go. War, for example, is a military card, because it says on it. So if you like got a couple of cards in your hand with some decent resources, then you can. What was the mercenary ship? So the mercenary ship is military. You can play this for free. If you play War Effort, you can play the Scout for 0, but you still have to pay the 1 command values. It's a good card. Again, you can save a bunch of resources on it. Okay, we have a few more to go through. So just about to say I'm going to speed up on the commons, and then we get the weirdest looking hero. Zeepool, yeah. He's a Sovan. Sovan are the green. Sort of like very insect-looking people, and they are not really about going to war. They're more about winning through tech and defending. Sleepstream, another one we haven't seen yet. Looks cool. Sacrifice, we did see Sacrifice. We got Quick Reflexes, another one I haven't seen yet either. And certainly we haven't had any of this one just yet. Passage to Mars. This you get in the Bizori starter, if you want one. Hidden Resources. You get this Hidden Resources in basically all of the starters. It's really cool. Just for free. If you got 2 tech, you play it and you gain 1 resource. It's like just to get your deck moving around a bit quicker, so that's pretty cool. And we got a Martyr Leader. Uncommons, we have a Lucky Break. I think we've seen one of this already. Mercenary Destroyer. I fucking love the color on the Mercenary Destroyer. I think that red just really pops on the generally dark card. I really like that. And we have Aknar Krag, which is a 10 structure, planet, 1 resource, 2 tech. Generally not much to look at. Limited main, issue 1 command to have target player discard a card at random from his or her hand. So there you go, that's your hand destruction. Not milling, but hand destruction is pretty cool. To have target player discard a card at random from his or her hand. So I'm assuming that discarded card then goes to the recycle pile. That's pretty cool. And then let's see, our rare is another rare fate card, Think Tank. You gain +1 tech. So that's like, you know, you get to 30 tech, you win the game. There are cards that allow you to, there's an advantage that allows you to win with 27 tech. You include Think Tank, that's +1, that's pretty cool. And these add up so that you don't lose the tech. Like this one's just checking how many you got. but you actually are sort of measuring how much tech you got. And like if you lose a planet, for example, because that is possible, then you would lose obviously the tech that that planet gave you. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you can do in this game. There's ship-to-ship combat. There's ships attacking a planet to destroy. Well, they don't destroy it, but you basically get to turn it upside down, and from that point on, if you did that to a planet that's not yours, then you basically conquer that planet. There's also hero-to-hero battles, so it's really cool. Right, reinforced armor, planetary cannons. We've seen these guys. I've seen that too. Mercenary Scouts, fusion welder, Dr. Krieg, conscience. Then for uncommons we have Wrath, another voicing gear, sensor trick. That's a really cool art too. Like there's really nice looking. To combat react, usually good. And we have another fake card, Knight of Death. So you actually get a bunch of fake cards as well. It's not just like you got like a selection of 5 and then you're gonna be running those in each deck. You can actually customize, and if you decide to build like a 70 card deck, 7 cards of that can be fake cards. And this can be a mass removal actually. If you can like sort of stack your deck to put like high cosmic value cards on top, like War for example has a 6 there in the orange bubble, then you can remove a bunch of your opponent. Look at that. That's pretty that's pretty strong. And then our rare is, oh man, another good looking one. Primog Tarkis. So Primog for the Mu Arrow, an expensive one, but generally the Mu Arrow have good stats. They're like built for, engineered for war. And as a combat to react, turn Primog Tarkis basically going to tap him to cancel a react tactical card play by an opponent. So it's built-in counter. There you go. That's why he's so good. And yeah, I mean, pretty good stats as well. 3-5-4 is not bad at all. And an Admiral as well. That has its own good stuff. Okay, coming up to 30 minutes now. So apparently I can go on and on even with 10 boosters. But I'm sure if you're here to watch this, then you're used to that by now. There isn't much point to really spend a lot of time, although we are getting, I don't think we've seen command post before. Superheated, another fake card. This is a common one. Saiyan Station. There's actually a bunch of these stuff that we haven't seen. Draxnar, Pillage, and Master Guard Dogs. So just pause the video if you really want to have a read through them. And then we got another planet, Ancient Ruins of Home. Pelopolonia. It's giving you 6 stacks, so that's pretty amazing, but very fragile planet. But that's cool though. You can defend them. Stolen Artifacts. Just another great art. It's really cool art. And if you're asking about the scuffs, yeah, they all come like this. It's 2001, guys. And we have a pleasure bot. This is I cracked one yesterday. I laughed about it for like a minute. It reminds me of the first Austin Powers movie with the pleasure bots. This is just too funny. And our rare is a resourceful planning. It's the first advantage that we see. You get an advantage with each starter deck. And this one has a limited, so you can use it once in the end phase. Issue 3 commands to gain +1 tech. So normally in the game you can spend 5 resources to gain 1 tech. But if you end up like not spending your commands, then you can turn them into 1+1 attack, which is pretty cool. That's a cool card. And it's an advantage, so it's like it is like a starting card, so it remains in play. So you can actually build a strategy around that where you like just gonna be making more tech each turn with that card. Alright, we go the last one, Archaeology Student, Foz, Decoy, another Command Post, Ambassador's Aid, Sweet Talker, Secret Agenda. For uncommons, we have a Sensor Trick, we have Weapons Test Facility, it's giving us +1 resources, and weapons you control and their subjects inflict +1 damage. So that's, again, just marvelous card. And we have a Fighter Scout, which is a Sylvan card, but you definitely get like a big butt on that card. Not too much structure to power. For 3, 1 commands, yeah, it's alright. And our final rare is a Radar Facility. Attacking player and his or her allies can't play react cards during ship combat at subject plus. Okay, so this is just like shutting down any react cards, which again is pretty cool. And just real quick, if you guys want to see the pulls from yesterday, we've had. I'm not really gonna go into much. Yeah, I'll show them to you because we got a missile cluster here. We got B-14 missile. Academy, you haven't seen yet. City. Conspiracy, dropped weapon, we've seen that actually. Indecision. For uncommons, we have a Stick in the Wheel. Another one of that discard planet. Another Mercenary Destroyer, still looks awesome. The Pleasure, but as I've mentioned, Lucky Break, Absalom Nebula. And our 2 rares were Secret of the Ancients and Sol Hernandez.
Gentlemen in the mix.
So thank you all for joining me to crack some Firestorm stuff and listen to me babble about the rules and how the game plays. Again, if you want to see more, please leave a comment below. I am more than happy to go and break down each individual species for you guys if you're interested. And up until next time, peace.